Hello, 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 and welcome to the show. It's Wrestling with Entertainment,
Dementia.
bringing the
Okay.
latest exclusive breaking news, previewing and reviewing the latest shows from WWE, AEW, New Japan, and everything in between every Saturday on YouTube and Castbox. I am your host, James J., starring Kaliko Yas.
What is up? We still stuck in this bitch. Everybody just keep holding on, man. Hold on.
And Mitch Mayhem.
Hey, what up, everybody? Yeah, it's fucking crazy, dude. It's been like that for months. Just gotta do what you gotta do, man. Yeah.
And Scooter Dust, who unfortunately is missing currently.
He's having fun with his wife.
No, what I heard is that he's gone missing. I've already.
I approve.
Nope, he's having fun with his wife. And, well, he might as well be missing, and he's in bumfuck Egypt, Alabama. So.
Yeah, if you're in Bama, you might as well be missing.
Dude,
You're right, yeah.
dude, kayfabe. Kayfabe.
Fuck kayfabe! I'm a real motherfucker.
I mean, you don't have to
And
be
now we know why you failed
You
as a
could be.
wrestler, Mitch.
I don't want to. Fuck kayfabe. I'm real, dude. Shit.
You could be kayfabe and still be missing in Alabama.
Yeah, kayfabe's dead, dude. In wrestling and in life.
Well, I was just talking about you could still be missing in Alabama.
I'm just saying you don't have to be kayfabe.
Kayfabe
we agree on that.
Kayfabe
Real
might
life.
be dead, but it's a great day for wrestling. Maybe
Is it?
not a great day for wrestling fans, as earlier this week we lost
The
Regis
the
Philbin, which
the
doesn't
fans got taken out of it. It's a fan centric business. It's so weird now.
doesn't
Or it was. Yeah.
it's not. Regis Philbin was not a big part of the wrestling community, but back in the day,
Oh,
a lot of the
Regis died?
wrestlers.
Oh shit.
Yeah, Regis Philbin died.
Oh
Yeah, he
shit.
died. Yeah.
I heard Hugh Downs died, but I didn't hear about
But
Regis Philbin.
I bring it up because a lot of the wrestlers back in the day used to come on Regis and Chatty, and that was like a big deal for wrestling fans
Right.
back then. It wasn't
Well,
as
then
big as it was today.
not just wrestling fans. It was like a cultural, yeah. It like brought a lot of outsiders into the wrestling world when they had shows on, like The Rock or whatever. So yeah, it brought other new eyes to it. I remember Regis. What was it? Who Wants to Be a Millionaire and all the other shit he was in. Yeah, he was an icon on TV, dude.
Did you?
I, I'd
Yeah.
I'd say they're like, and for those who are the younger generation, back in the day, there were only two shows that wrestlers were on, and that was
Right.
and these were
Well,
like talk shows. So one was
actually,
Regis and Kelly, or Regis and Kathy Lee rather, and the other one was Arsenio Hall. Arsenio
hold on,
Hall.
wait. I gotta correct you. There was another one that wrestlers were on a lot, and that's Late Night with Conan O'Brien. I remember.
Oh no, I'm talking about like Conan.
No,
I get it.
That was
in
Conan
1999, 2000,
No,
yeah.
yeah, but we're talking like 88 to 90.
Oh, okay, okay.
So like
Okay.
right
No,
around that
Conan
time.
didn't exist then. You're right.
Yeah, Conan didn't exist then. So when I'm saying back in when I say back in the days, and we're talking like when I was
That's like
five.
primetime wrestling days. That's like what do you call that?
Golden
Okay,
era.
I got you.
Golden era days. So golden era days, the only two shows had wrestlers, and it was a daytime
Bobby
show
the
and a
Brain
nighttime
and
show,
Gorilla.
and it was Regis and Kathy Lee and
Yeah, I remember that.
Arsenio Hall, because Arsenio Hall would have like the Ultimate Warrior, Macho Man every now and then. So like those were the only two like shows that were bringing in wrestlers, and even when they came, they had to come as character. So it kind of gave it the realness, and it kind of gave it a mainstream appeal. So as much as people say Regis may have not been a direct impact in the business itself, he was a direct impact in influencing the culture and exposing the wrestling as it is, and making it to where like household moms back in that time could sit there and watch it, and so
That's a great.
he he's a big contributor.
Yeah, that's a great point there, Kaliko. Did you ever catch any of the wrestlers on Regis and Kathy Lee?
Not really, because I was 5, so I was probably in school around this time. And it's not like we had YouTube back in the day.
Right,
I had a better shot of catching them on Arsenio Hall because it was late night,
right.
and I could stay up. But Regis and Kathy Lee, unless you're an adult skipping
Yeah.
school or watching it at work,
It was
you really
always during
didn't catch
school
it.
days. Yeah. It was
Yeah,
like
it
9
was on
o'clock
during the
in the
school. It was
morning.
like 9, 10 o'clock in the morning,
9,
and
10, yeah.
by that time, I'm in
It's
school.
what. And then you had then when Kathy Lee retired, you had Regis and what's the other?
Kelly Ripa.
Kelly Ripa, yep.
Kelly Ripa, yeah. And
Yeah.
so he was a big culture, a big name in just our culture and in general. So
And not
yeah.
even including WrestleMania 8, he was there.
WrestleMania 3, yeah.
Yeah.
He was there for a couple of them shows, so it's not like
He was a fan, and that's why he brought him on.
He was a big fan of Andre the Giant, if I remember correctly.
Oh
He
yeah,
knew Classy Freddie Blassie, and that's kind of
yep.
There you
how
Classic
go.
Freddie
it
Okay,
got
Blassie.
him
there you
into that
go.
business.
So
Uh,
yeah,
He knew Captain Lou too, I think.
it's
But
it's
yeah.
great that we could just have a good little conversation about an icon in the whole world, and have this little bit of information that he was a wrestling fan as well.
yeah,
Well, yeah, we've known that.
because like unlike the other WrestleMania, like some of the celebrities that showed up
Some of them only
at
go there for money.
WrestleMania, some of them
Yeah.
went, just for the glitz and the glamour.
Right.
This
They get
guy
paid
was,
too, some of them.
yeah, and get paid, and he got paid, but he actually loved it. So he was
He
one of
wanted
those,
to be
like
there.
I would say, he was the early pioneer of being a
Right.
celebrity that really, really loved
But
it.
but
That some people probably didn't.
when you're someone like Regis Philbin though, and you got the name he does, you can choose things you like, and you can get paid for it when you have
Absolutely.
that big of a name. So yeah, I don't see anything wrong with that if you actually had interest in it. So yeah.
And of course, our thoughts and prayers are with Regis's family. Going on to our next topic, we talked a little bit at the tail end of our show last week about this. Big E is going to have a solo run. Whether or not that's
Who?
going to Big E.
Oh yeah, good. It's
Whether
about
or
time.
not it's gonna be for 6 weeks until Kofi is healed up, or if this is gonna be a long-term thing is soon to be revealed. Um, what are your expectations of Big E in a singles run? Kaliko?
Champion. Oh, sorry.
Oh no, Mitch, if you wanna go, yeah.
The champion, he be in the main card tier. Eventually, not thrown there immediately, but eventually, I could see him fighting for the title.
Not in a 6-week run, right?
No, absolutely not. It'd take about a year or two to develop him, I think, as a singles guy. Maybe a year or so, but 6 months to a year, and then start putting him in the main event situation. But yeah.
What about you, Kaliko?
Depending on this pandemic, it might be sooner.
Yeah,
and
that's true. That is true. I agree with Khalifa on
and
that.
and
They have needs. Yeah.
because at this point, to be quite honest, Braun after the program with Bray, whatever happens there, it's not really deep up there, so he could make an impact even in a losing effort. The Intercontinental, I feel like, is going to be the headline title because that's the way that they're treating it. Because AJ Styles is basically AJ Styles versus everybody. So I could see him catapulting himself as a contender for the Universal title, considering that there's not really that much depth there. I feel like the Intercontinental they're trying to build a constituency of contenders. Vice the
Right.
Universal, you can actually see him being a contender.
Yeah,
Maybe
I
not
agree with
right immediate, but eventually.
I agree with that. That's fine. Yeah.
let me ask you this. Kofi's injured right now. That's, the main reason why Big E is getting this opportunity. Do you see that this is going to be a 6 week tutorial to see if he could maybe make it, and when Kofi comes back, just throw him back in the tag team? Or do you think they're actually going to give him that push? Mitch?
I'll go for it.
Sorry, repeat.
Do you think that this is going to be a 6 week, tutorial on Big E to see if he could actually make it, and when Kofi comes back, he's going to go back with New Day, or do you think that they're going to give him a long time as a singles wrestler?
Who fucking knows? This is basically a rich man's playground with Vince McMahon. If he has an itchy butt on a certain day, he might make a contrary decision. We just don't know because he controls everything. 74-year-old crazy man controls it all. So, if it was up to me, I would keep them together, but keep Big E on the trajectory of main event, and then I would eventually have him become champion, and then in a few years, it's Xavier's turn, in my opinion. So. And they all help each other like they did with Kofi, and so Kofi and Xavier now help Big E.
Mark it down, Kaliko. It took Mitch.
They all have their time.
Mark it down, Kaliko. It took Mitch 10 minutes to down Vince McMahon.
New record. Nah.
What are you talking about? I've been saying Vince is crazy since the beginning, man.
No, but it took you 10 minutes into this show.
Until I said the word Vince McMahon, baby, but I've been implying that he's fucking crazy off his rocker earlier, so whatever.
What about you, Kaliko? How do you see this playing out?
They gave him the ball when he had an IC title run. I just felt like
I feel like not really. They gave him a chance with it and then took it from him. Sorry.
They gave him a chance, but they didn't really
give him a
chance. They didn't instill the confidence in him.
They didn't stick with him. Right. They didn't stick with him.
But I think now, considering that the New Day is this practically staple, pun intended, in the WWE, I feel like that they're going to give him more of a leash with it. I mean, he is entertaining. He can wrestle. He can go. He's a student of the game. It's not like Kofi won't be out. I mean, I could see him trying to be there, not being sanctioned to wrestle, but actually giving him pointers and managing him in a type of way.
Right.
But I mean, it's not like Vince don't like the New Day. He fucking loves them. I just feel like now, with the shortness of talent and the shortness of contenders, he's gonna get entrusted waist deep real quick.
Right.
Because
of the need. They need it.
Yeah, because of the need. And that's where I feel he'll thrive, because he could talk. It's not like he can't talk.
He is one of the funniest motherfuckers around. Yeah,
he's not boring. He's not stale. Yeah. His Twitter account's off the fucking chain. And I mean,
that's what most wrestling is nowadays, your personality, yeah.
So he's got it. I mean, it's just a matter of whether they're going to give him the ball.
Right, yeah. It's WWE going with him or not, yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right.
That's been the case, so.
Next thing on the agenda, SummerSlam. We already covered this. Not taking place in Boston. They tried to.
Ain't taking place anywhere in front of a fucking public crowd.
I'm trying to kind of give context here. They tried to maybe do it somewhere in Florida with a crowd. That didn't work. They were ultimately going to do it at the Performance Center. But now they're looking at possibly doing SummerSlam at a beach or on a ship.
That would be cool, actually. So that would actually kind of be cool, maybe.
So you like something that Vince McMahon came up with, Mitch?
Something at a beach? Yeah, I feel like that's just an idea that someone threw at him and he grabbed it. I don't necessarily think that's Vince McMahon's idea. I just think if they do it right, that SummerSlam at the beach, like Bash at the Beach, old WCW pay-per-views, that'd be sick. Even without a crowd, might be cool.
What about on a ship?
But real quick, leave it to Vincent Mann to shit all over a good idea. So just watch, he'll do it.
What about maybe on a ship?
A what?
A ship.
A ship?
A boat.
That would have been decent. Maybe a decent idea for WrestleMania, this last WrestleMania, but nah, I don't think so. Now they missed the boat on that one. Get it? Huh?
All right, that's a good one. You're
It's a
right
dad
about
joke
that.
or whatever.
That would have been a good idea. Obviously that didn't happen. What about you, Kaliko? What are your thoughts on SummerSlam possibly being on a beach or a boat?
I mean, that's what they
boat.
did.
Hey.
I mean, WCW did that like some years ago. It honestly, on a boat would be the last place because at this point, boats and ships are like walking petri dishes, and it only takes one, and it'll fuck everything up.
Right.
So the beach would be a better it would be a better stage. The only problem with the beach is that like they're probably going to try to want to do it at night, so that means it kind of fucks everything up unless they tape it, and
you got to do it during the
taping.
Day. You have to, unless you can light the whole beach up, and that's expensive.
You know what I mean. So it's tricky. I mean, if anybody could do it, they could do it. They could pull it off. They got the logistics for it and the production.
The money. If you have enough money, you can do it. Yeah,
so
but it's just a matter
of building the stage, and then they have to build the plexiglass, and then build. It's just
like I said, like I said, it's about how much they're willing to spend.
But at this point, they only got about 3 weeks, so I kind of see it going to the Performance Center. If they had a new back in March that this was canceled, and if they had it just operated in March at it was going to get canceled in Boston, then I could see it happening. But a 3-week turnaround is a fucking lot. You're asking for a lot, so I don't see it happening.
They've pulled off shows in less time, I would say.
Yeah, that's true, but unlike everything else, you got to figure out the logistics of booking a hotel, having it booked so no one else can come in. You got to create an outside bubble per se. It's not even about the stage. It's more so about having the talent in that area, and just trying to contain them in that area and try to keep other people out.
It'll be interesting
kind of like what the NBA is doing.
It'll be interesting if they actually pull it off. I mean, it would make SummerSlam a lot more interesting being on a different location other than the Performance Center. Another thing that happened this week on Monday, Sasha Banks won the Raw Women's Championship via countout, and that probably hit Raw hit its records low that week as well during that segment. Mitch, what are your thoughts on Sasha Banks winning the championship and setting record lows for WWE?
They're giving everything to Sasha and Bayley. You have a huge roster and you're only using it for 2 people. I think it's short-sighted and it's Vince McMahon. So I don't agree with it. It's what?
It's boring.
Yes, but of course it's boring. We've been saying that for a while.
Kaliko, your thoughts on Sasha winning the belt and record lows?
I get what they're trying to do, because it's basically getting the title away from Asuka so Asuka could get it back at SummerSlam to have a meaningful, match. And it builds and it stacks the deck against Asuka, because we all know That's what I see. Because the reason being is because Kyrie gets her ass whooped. She's gonna be off the roster. She's no longer there. So
Yeah.
when Asuka gets the rematch, it's an automatic 2-on-1. So to me, this had to happen because everybody's been hinting at this Sasha Bailey turn, and to me, this is their peak. This is the apex of where they are, them having all the gold, and that's where it starts to crater. That's where you see it cratering down. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
agree.
So
yeah, but like we've been covering this Sasha Bailey split up since last year,
and
and it's
that, but
I
and
longer
that's the,
than that,
but
yeah.
that's the thing. Like everyone was wanting it to happen. Then it other factors happened. Sasha walking out on the company, Bailey turning heel. It's a lot of, and then they were experimenting it with who's going to turn on who. Because remember, Sasha was beating up on Bailey. Then you had that one night Bailey was beating up on Sasha because I happened to be there and she beat the brakes off that bitch. But anywho, so it's been a back and forth thing, and that's where it's like it's trying to keep the people guessing because everyone's been thinking it should have happened
Man,
by now, and that everyone was thinking it was going to happen either after Mania or in the month and a half after Mania. And the fact that it keeps going, and it's little hints there if you see it,
oh,
but
definitely if you're looking for it.
but yeah, if you're looking for them. So that's why I think it's now is going to be the time because they all got the belts. They think they can't be touched, and it only takes one person to lose it to start the jealousy, and then
right.
the unraveling.
I agree with that.
Hopefully, that's what they actually do. Um, Something we hoped didn't happen but knew was inevitable. Zack Ryder signed with AEW. He debuted this week on Dynamite.
Yep.
Mitch, what are your thoughts?
We saw this coming. Him and Cody are good friends. It's nothing surprising. He said that, yeah, out of everyone, Zack Ryder, aka now Matt Cardona, was the one person that if he could choose just one person, he would sign just him. So we've seen this coming for at least a year now. I think, honestly, I think the most shocking, it has nothing to do with Matt Cardona. The most shocking, like, news out of this whole, like, all the free agents that were let go from WWE. I think the biggest news, in my opinion, is Rusev or Miro retiring. He's a Twitch guy now. He's not even going to come back to wrestling. That's a lot of that is just wasted talent, man.
I don't think he's retired. I think he's.
I don't think he's coming back. I
I
really
think
don't.
he's
He has no
walking.
reason to. He's got a hot woman. He's got a Twitch career. Why the fuck would you want to go hurt yourself for money anymore?
I think he's walking the fence.
It could be, but I doubt it. Right now, in this pandemic, you don't have many jobs to choose from in the first place, dude. So I just hear me out. Like, it would be the perfect timing to let go of your career if that was your choice. Rusev seemed like he was getting jaded with WWE for a long time, and like he was waiting for this. So I would not be surprised if it's for real.
What about you, Kaliko? What are your thoughts on Zack Ryder now, Matt Cardona signing
Cordona.
Cardona? Thank you.
Uh-huh.
With AEW.
I saw a tweet the other day about that, and it was like, so is Matt Cardona gonna be where Sean Spears is? Because think about it, Sean
In the
Spears
shits.
is he taking Sean Spears' job? Is that what that is? Because it's basically like,
Sean Spears' jaw, he just walks around needlessly with Tully Blanchard on the back. He doesn't do anything but job anymore. I mean, shit. He lost
yeah,
his balls, it feels like.
that's the point. So basically, Sean Spears supposed to have been this guy that would have been free and to do whatever, and that's cool. But he's basically doing the same thing there that he was doing in WWE. Only difference is he's probably getting paid a hell of a lot more at
All right.
WWE. And now you get Zack Ryder, who has probably a bigger, I would say, connection socially than Sean Spears. So it's basically him eclipsing Sean Spears. So now he's asking what's going to happen to Sean Spears.
Nothing.
And that is where the biggest
right. I think he's wasted too. But hear me out. I think he's wasted too. But if Sean Spears doesn't give a fuck, why should we?
Well, it's not.
Just saying.
It's not that I care per se.
I'm just saying I agree with you. No, I actually agree with you. But if he doesn't have the drive, then I mean, fuck.
I think the biggest signing is them getting Cameron. I mean,
no, that was a confuser to me. I was like, what the fuck? That was confusing to me.
As far as being
she is not good. I don't know why you would bring her back, but okay.
I didn't even know that she still wrestled.
Well, she's going back on her history, historic name, from what her dancing with Funkasaurus.
That's the confusing part to me. Her being here.
Right.
Because that shows, I mean, you had a gang of people that could have got signed.
Oh, yeah. I know.
Especially to rebuild the women's roster. I'm talking about Alice, a free agent like, I don't know, Allison Kay,
there you
Thunder
go.
Rosa,
well,
Marty
she's
Bell.
Still on their NWA.
No, but I'm just saying.
Both of them are Marty Bell too.
Even for them for like a one, I get it, but
I'm just saying,
even for them to have like a one-time thing, you know what I mean?
Right, I agree with
But you got a plethora of talent out that bitch.
Oh yeah, you do.
Because that to me sounds like I'd be scraping the bottom of the barrel. You got splinters going down the bottom of that barrel.
Unfortunately, I think that barrel's a little bit deeper, personally. But well, that's another topic for another time. Zack Ryder, Matt Cardona?
Matt Cardona. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So, do you think that they're actually going to put this guy over as a major superstar, that they're going to put him in a title picture or something?
Who knows? I really don't fucking know.
What about you, Kaliko?
Everything's up in the air right now.
I doubt it. I mean, to me, it screams Sean Spears. Get that 10 minutes in the sun, and then you fade off.
There's been a lot of the guys.
Unless he brings his own internet championship belt.
That's an old gimmick. Yeah.
I mean, people are bringing belts back all of a sudden.
Yeah, the FTW. What the fuck? Yeah, that was weird. But
not what the fuck. Fuck the world.
I'm just saying, FTW title is from '98, dude. I'm just saying. I know. I'm just saying it. To me, that was weird bringing that back. That belt meant nothing except to Taz, you know.
Well, anyway, it seems like the majority of the guys WWE let go have either gone to Impact Wrestling or AEW. Who do you think got the better deal out of this? Impact or AEW? Mitch?
I think Impact's been the winner so far. Impact. I think Impact's doing a decent job right now. I think they've signed too many, but for right now, they seem like the ones that are doing decent. What? What did you say?
That's a fair assessment. I see that, obviously they got two of their old superstars, Eric Young and EC3. They value those guys. The biggest superstars out of that was the Good Brothers that they nabbed.
Yeah.
And
I don't know why Brian. I don't know real quick. I don't know why Brian Myers / Kurt Hawkins is there. I wouldn't have signed Heath Slater either.
Well, I was gonna say Brian Myers is your dark horse because I can honestly tell you I've never seen him actually wrestle a decent match.
I have.
And not get that opportunity. So this is maybe an
No, he's been
opportunity.
given opportunities. No,
Not in
back
WWE.
when he was in Major Brothers, after that, he was given a small push, but then they took it. I
That
just
was
don't
in
think he was ever a.
2006,
Hold on,
man.
I just don't think he was a quality wrestler. I just never, me personally.
You know, you could make the argument that they're doing the exact same thing with Heath Slater in Impact as they were doing in WWE.
Right.
But it doesn't seem like AEW is getting quality. They didn't get quality guys out of this, mass firing from WWE. What about you, Kaliko? What are your thoughts?
Well, I think it's a win for both, and this is why, because Impact got the guys that they had history with, and even though it's brief, the Good Brothers did have some kind of a history. So, with the exception of like Heath Slater and Kurt Hawkins, everyone else was a guy that they were familiar with. AEW, they got a couple guys, and it's just giving them a fresh start because I don't see what Impact was going to do for them anyway. So I think it was best for them to like start over.
Right.
Another signing from AEW this week. They signed.
Warhorse.
I didn't see that they signed Warhorse.
Well,
signed,
not signing, but he's
Eddie
new
Kingston.
talent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Eddie Kingston.
Oh, did they? They signed him?
They signed him.
Good. Hell yeah.
In a sense, yeah, I'm happy for him, but also in another sense,
He deserved
isn't
it.
AEW stealing a lot of talent from NWA?
Yeah, but his contract was up already. And if NWA, they're not doing shows during the climate right now with the coronavirus. Hey, wrestlers got to work, and if they're not doing it, and people don't want to be under NWA contract anymore, that's why a lot of them are leaving. You know.
What about you, Kaliko? How do you feel about AEW kind of stealing a mass majority of NWA's talent?
Well, NWA if any group got hurt the most, it was them. Because, man,
Probably.
They really depended on an audience, and they really depended on
Yeah.
that small feeling. So I would say I don't think Billy Corgan's that kind of a guy. I feel like
Billy
he's
Corbin. Billy Corgan.
Corbin, you know. The Smashing Pumpkins dude. How about that?
That's funny.
So
that works.
He's I don't think he's that type of guy. He's like, hey man, you got to make money, go be happy. With Eddie Kingston, it was funny because they kept bringing up the story of him selling his boots to make his mortgage. So that in itself kind of like lent me to believe that they were going to sign him eventually, because you wouldn't have they brought that story up like 50 times. And I'm just like, Jesus, okay, we get it. He was poor. So you knew that was coming. It's just going to be funny what they do, because I think they're trying to do a show. Thunder Rosa was talking about a title defense that's coming up soon. So I assume that they're trying to get back on the horse. But NWA, they still got their main guy, which is, Nick Aldis. They still got okay women's roster, and the tag team division needs to get a major overhaul. But I mean, they'll still be okay. It's just a matter of when they can come back on.
Right.
It's funny, they signed Eddie Kingston, and who runs over children, but they suspend Excalibur for using the N-word.
Because people are going in people's past, and if you got some weird shit in the past, it's not a good climate for that.
Nah, it's more. I mean, that was more about calling. That's more about calling AEW out for consistency, because they were at the forefront of talking about banning Hogan and the wife and the whole Hogan clan, they went on the forefront to do that. So now it bit them in the ass to where it's like,
Yeah, I
oh,
knew that was
okay,
gonna bite him in
one
the
of
ass.
your own guys
I
is
knew that
getting
was gonna
on.
fuck him.
See, so all that
Yeah.
shit that they were talking in the beginning, now all these other people are starting to get their shit come back, and now it's like, oh, what the fuck you gonna do now? Because you done set the precedent by banning someone for life. And that is
Right.
where I think they fucked up. They fucked up by going, well, we're going to ban them for life to make it look like everyone's going to get a ban. So now when you see these employees getting it, it's like, oh, well, it's a slippery slope. And I'm thinking you should have kind of did that from Jump Street to give yourself that room because they painted themselves in that corner.
And you
Right.
can't tell me down the
Right.
line when they're not doing well financially that they wouldn't take a Hulk Hogan star power.
I doubt it. I doubt it. I heavily doubt it.
Right.
Because
They're about
one
justice warrior shit, social justice warrior shit. Yeah.
this is a whole
They
different
need a fall
generation.
guy.
This
Yeah.
is a whole different generation than the generation that started TNA. Way
True.
different.
Very true. Very
Um.
true.
Last up on the news circuit, it was announced that Payback will take place on August 30th, which is, I believe, a week or two after SummerSlam. It was rumored that this was going to be Evolution 2. Clearly, it was not.
Mm-mm.
Mitch, your thoughts?
WWE's old bait and switch. What? Nothing to be surprised about. I knew they weren't gonna do it.
And it,
So forever,
they publicly came out and said this is not Evolution 2. This isn't going to be Evolution
Right,
2.
because they didn't want
But
thought people were getting their hopes up for something that wasn't going to happen,
let
and
me
so
ask
they killed it.
you this. What does it mean to have another paid preview literally
The way you say it. Sorry.
2 weeks after literally 2 weeks after SummerSlam?
Yeah.
What
I think that tells me that it's not going to be a 2-night event like they did with Mania. But
Yeah, I don't see how you can stretch it,
because to
honestly.
be quite honest, I mean, let's be honest. Mania is the Super Bowl, and everything else is kind of like the AFC NFC
Right.
Championship. So
Royal Rumble is kind of like the championship, yeah, to me.
So to me, this tells me Payback is just going to be a continuation of probably maybe one of the bigger stories and then a couple of the under stories that weren't on SummerSlam.
Right. Uh-huh.
all right. And that will conclude our news coverage.